Why would anyone leave billions of dollars worth of airplanes sitting in the middle of a desert? Well, you may have flown on an airplane whose replacement engine or another critical component once sat in this exact desert months ago. Because this isn't really a graveyard, it's an enormous storage vault for aircraft that are too valuable to destroy but not ready to fly. And the desert itself is part of the reason.
Standard airport parking costs up to $10,000 a day per plane. Desert soil drops that cost to pennies while shielding aluminum airframes from structural moisture decay. The brutal heat and bone-dry air that makes this place almost impossible to live in can actually help protect aircraft from corrosion, making long-term storage far easier than leaving them exposed at a normal airport.
But here's where it gets even stranger. Not every airplane here is waiting to be scrapped. Some are waiting for an airline to need them again. Some are waiting to be stripped for parts. And some can sit silently for years before anyone decides what their final fate will be. An airplane never actually dies on its final flight, and the desert isn't its final resting place. It's where its second life begins. For an airplane, retirement doesn't always begin with a dramatic final flight. Sometimes it ends quietly. The aircraft lands at an airport for what looks like an ordinary flight, but when the engines shut down, they may never start again. Instead, the airplane is inspected, its records are reviewed, and a decision is made. What happens next? If the aircraft still has years of useful life left, sending it straight to the scrapyard would make little financial sense.
So it can be flown or towed to a specialized storage facility, places like Pinal Airpark in Arizona, or for military aircraft, the enormous 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. And this is where the process gets interesting, because they don't simply park the airplane and walk away. Before an aircraft enters long-term storage, technicians have to prepare it for a completely different kind of life.
The aircraft is cleaned, fluids may be drained or treated, sensitive equipment can be removed, openings are sealed, and the aircraft is protected against the very environment that makes the desert so valuable in the first place: dust, heat, sunlight, and corrosion.
At AMARG, aircraft are sealed with specialized protective coatings designed to reduce corrosion, keep animals out, and help keep the aircraft cooler under the brutal Arizona sun. Even the engines can receive their own preservation treatment. Some are removed from the aircraft entirely and stored separately, with procedures designed to protect them from moisture and oxygen. Because an aircraft sitting still for years isn't necessarily abandoned, it's being preserved. And once the preservation work is finished, the airplane is towed out onto the desert floor. Thousands of other aircraft may already be waiting there. Some look almost ready to fly. Others have missing engines, stripped interiors, or components removed from their wings and fuselage. And that's because not every aircraft enters storage for the same reason. Some are essentially being placed in aviation deep freeze, waiting for the day they might be needed again.
Others are being kept because their parts are worth more than the aircraft itself. And that distinction changes everything. Because the airplane you see sitting motionless in the desert may not actually be the valuable thing. Sometimes, it's what's inside it.
If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications.
Inside the aviation industry, an aircraft doesn't have to fly to remain valuable. In fact, sometimes the most valuable thing about an aircraft isn't the aircraft itself. It's the thousands of components hidden inside it. An aircraft engine alone can be worth millions of dollars. Landing gear, avionics, flight control components, hydraulic systems, seats, wheels, brakes. Even smaller components that most passengers would never notice can become valuable replacement parts. And that's where the desert storage facility becomes something far more interesting than a parking lot. It becomes a giant parts warehouse without walls. At facilities like Pinal Airpark, aircraft can be stored, maintained, repaired, overhauled, torn down, and parted out. And at AMARG, the massive U.S. military aircraft storage facility in Arizona, parts reclamation is actually one of its core missions. Aircraft that will never fly again can become donors for aircraft that still do. AMARG says its teams reclaim roughly 5,000 to 6,000 aircraft parts every year, with a value estimated between $250 million and $300 million. Think about what that means. One aircraft may be finished, but its parts don't necessarily have to be.
A technician can remove a component from a stored aircraft, inspect and certify it if it meets the required standards, and send it back into the aviation supply chain. So somewhere in the world, an aircraft that is still carrying passengers could need a replacement component, and instead of manufacturing a completely new one, the industry may have another option. Find a usable component from an aircraft already sitting in storage.
This is one reason these desert facilities can be so important. They don't just preserve aircraft, they preserve options. An airline can place an aircraft into storage because demand has fallen. A lessor can hold an aircraft while deciding where it will fly next. An operator can temporarily ground part of its fleet. And if the market changes, that aircraft may eventually be brought back out. In other words, the desert can act like an aviation pause button. The aircraft isn't necessarily dead, it's simply waiting.
But there is a darker side to this process, because eventually, some aircraft never leave. Years pass, technology changes, maintenance becomes too expensive, replacement parts become harder to find, and newer aircraft become more efficient. At that point, keeping the old aircraft alive may no longer make financial sense. And that's when the aircraft begins its final transformation. Instead of being preserved as an airplane, it becomes an inventory of parts and materials.
The engines may go one way, the avionics another, the landing gear somewhere else. And eventually, the airframe itself can be dismantled and recycled. So when you look across a desert and see hundreds or thousands of silent aircraft, you're not necessarily looking at a graveyard. You're looking at different stages of an aircraft's afterlife. Some are waiting to fly again. Some are waiting for parts to be needed. Some are waiting to be dismantled. And some are waiting for a completely different kind of mission.
Because not every aircraft sitting in an Arizona desert belongs to an airline. Some belong to the military, and those aircraft can be stored for a reason that has nothing to do with commercial demand. They are being kept for readiness. And that is where this desert storage facility becomes something much bigger than an aircraft graveyard. In early 2020, something happened that aircraft storage facilities had never seen on this scale. The world stopped flying. Airports that normally handled thousands of passengers every day became almost empty. Airlines grounded aircraft by the thousands. And suddenly, airplanes that had spent their entire lives flying from city to city had nowhere to go. They couldn't all stay at the airports. Airports needed their gates. They needed their runways. They needed space for the aircraft that were still operating, so airlines began searching for somewhere else to put their grounded fleets. And the desert became one of those places. Aircraft arrived in enormous numbers. Some were parked temporarily, others remained grounded for months, and some would never return to commercial service. The sight was extraordinary. Rows of passenger jets that would normally be scattered across the world's airports were suddenly concentrated in massive storage facilities. Aircraft that had once crossed oceans every day were sitting motionless beneath the Arizona sun. But there was a problem. An airplane isn't designed to sit unused indefinitely. Even when it isn't flying, time is still working against it. Systems have to be checked, engines have to be preserved, tires, seals, batteries, and other components have to be monitored. And depending on how long the aircraft remains stored, it may require increasingly extensive maintenance before it can safely return to service. So these facilities weren't simply parking lots for unwanted airplanes. They became part of the industry's survival strategy. Airlines could temporarily remove aircraft from service without immediately destroying them. And when demand eventually returned, some of those aircraft could be brought back. Others couldn't, because the COVID-19 pandemic also changed the economics of aviation. Some older aircraft were already approaching the end of their commercial lives. With passenger demand collapsing, airlines had a reason to accelerate their retirement. Instead of spending money keeping inefficient aircraft alive, they could retire them permanently. The real secret behind the desert? It buys time. Time for an airline to decide. Time for a market to recover. Time for a military branch to determine what it needs. And time for the aviation industry to extract every remaining bit of value from a machine that once seemed finished. But eventually, time runs out,
Because the longer an airplane stays on the ground, the harder and more expensive it can become to bring it back. That's why calling these places aircraft graveyards doesn't tell the whole story. A graveyard is where something goes when its usefulness is finished. But these deserts are different. They are storage facilities, parts warehouses, maintenance centers, strategic reserves, and waiting rooms for aircraft that simply need more time. The desert itself is part of the system.